I'm Eddie Salter, and you watching Surviving in Alabama.
King of the 10-inch beard.
Let me get another gobble.
I went to pick up this ladder, and wasps jump out on me. They didn't get me, though. Look at that. Look at him. Look at him. Yeah, he didn't get me then. Remember I told you I had to put some long screws through the gutters down on the chicken pen, and then it's totally done. And I don't have to do anything else to it besides touch up those little scratches on the barrel. So, see this right here? These are 8-inch screws, and I'm gonna put them in the gut. I'm just putting 3 of them on there just for some stability, and that's gonna be good. Well, I'm standing on a ladder, the one with the wasps on it. So, I got up here, I'm messing with this gutter. I was just gonna put those three screws in here, and then, so now I found out that, look, it's holding water on this one end. See? If you can see that, hang on a minute. See, look. See, it's holding water about half of it down toward the wrong end, so I don't have it sloped right. When I put it up, I thought I put some slope on it, but I guess I didn't. So I for sure am not a gutter expert, but hey, living and learning. When I get through with this project, I'll know at least a little bit about gutters. So I'm gonna take this gutter down and just slope it down towards the barrel a little bit, and then I'm gonna put these screws in. I think I'll be done. Okay, so the sun's getting my camera dark because it's gonna want to shut off on me from getting too hot. Okay, so I did lower it. I got a little bit of a wee wall in it, but it's okay. And so I lowered it so it's gonna drain better. And then I put those 3 screws in it to hold it sturdy. It's pretty sturdy now, so that's better. So I think we can call it good. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. All right, so I was gonna try to get on this greenhouse today, but I ended up getting a little bit of a late start. And I made a video earlier this morning on a sling blade. Y'all go watch that.
All right, then. This is how to use a sling blade. Some folks calls it a Kaiser blade. I calls it a sling blade.
I was trying to be funny, so who knows? Maybe y'all laugh. But anyway, it got a little bit hot, and the heat is really, really, really hot. All right, so shifting gears. I'll get on that greenhouse in the morning. I don't have anything to do. I don't have anywhere to be tomorrow. And I've got volleyball today I've got to leave early to go to volleyball, and I've got school after that for myself. So I was like, what can I do to do some progress? And I've got to get this sandbox built. So y'all don't know about the sandbox. So deer season's coming up, and I really needed a spreader to go on the back of my tractor. So I searched high and low on how can I get a spreader for trade, or either trade me, do some work, grind a stump, do a little work around their house, or trade something I have, whatever. So I have this chicken pen that never sold. If y'all go back into my previous videos, and I made this goes back to late spring. It was early spring, a late spring, early summer. I made a chicken tractor. It looked like a post office on one side and a general store on the other. I thought for sure that thing was going to sell. Had a bunch of people want it, but they just didn't want to pay for it. So I was trying to barter that for other stuff that I need. And, excuse me. So Mayhem will tell you I tried to pawn it off on him, which it's a good tractor. It really is. It's nice and it's well built. It's strong. It'll last probably forever. But I don't know why nobody wants it. I mean, everybody, I think they want it because it looks good, but it may just not fit what they're doing. Okay. And when it was for sale in the store, like I did have it on consignment, and I had it up for $700, which is, you go buy a chicken pen at Tractor Supply for $700, it's not going to last. It's just not. It's just not well. It's not built well enough. It's not strong enough, not thick enough. So back to my story. I made a deal with a guy on Facebook Marketplace about, he had a tractor, a 3-point hitch spreader, a 500-pound spreader at that, which is the bigger one. And it looked good everything looked good on the pictures I saw, but he didn't want that chicken tractor. So, and when I send that to somebody, hey, you want to trade for this? I tell them a lot of times, hey, I build stuff. So he sent me a picture of a Sandbox that had lids that fold back up into a bench on either side. And he says, can you build this? And I said, sure, I can totally build that. So here we go. I got about 10 big projects around here I've got to get done. Main one being the greenhouse, but I've got about 10 projects I've got to complete. And I think we can call that one complete right now, because I put, like I said, I got to get that ladder out there, but I got the gutter all secured and the fall's better now. So anyway, I think, and I sling bladed around and got the weeds cut down. So that's one. I got about 9 more to go, and this Sandbox one of them. And I told that guy a week ago I'd have it done within 2 weeks, so I'm making good on my promise. We're gonna try to get that thing started today, maybe finished tomorrow. Let's go look at some lumber and see what I got. So if you are the guy that happens to watch this that is getting this Sandbox, no, I did not go buy lumber for this project, because I had bought a deal on some lumber, and this is the lumber that I have to work with, because I paid $130 for this whole big old pile, and it was 2 trailer loads. So see, I've got decking boards right there. So, I do have the lumber, and it's treated. So let's see what we can find. I'm gonna need this decking. See those decking boards right there? I'm gonna need them. And I'm gonna need some, these look like 2x8s right there. I'm gonna dig them out and see if they're 12 foot long, that'll be awesome. If they're 5 foot long, we may have to just deal with it, maybe 5 foot. So let's see. Let's see what it's gonna look like. Let's pull it out. So I pulled it out. I pulled one of them out right here. This is a 2x8, and I was hoping it was gonna be 12 foot long, at least. But hey, I lucked up at 16 foot long, so that's gonna work. Let me show you his bad spot. You see this crack right here on the end? Well, that's why I got a deal on it, because it had this crack in it. But this is 16 foot long, so I can cut 4 foot off of it. I cut this crack off, and the rest of the board's fine. There ain't nothing wrong with the rest of the board. So Just one little spot right here, but that's gonna be face down and sand's gonna be on it. Then you never even see that. So that's good. So we're actually gonna have a good 12-foot section out of this. I'll cut that in half to make 6 because the sandbox is gonna be 6 by 6. All right, so I pulled the second one out of there. See, look at that. That's good lumber right there. Ain't nothing wrong with this. So I don't know why this actually made it in the coal. I don't know why it made it in the coal pile other than maybe this. Hold on. It's got one little crack in it. But it's not bad. It's not separating or anything. And then I think this side's good. And looks like it might be, hang on a minute. Looks like it might be warped on that side just a little bit. But that's okay too. So if I cut that end off, then I'll cut the warp out and I'll still have all the rest of it to be good. It'll just have this one little crack right there. That's not bad though. It's not separating. So when I put the lumber to it, so I'll put 2 screws here, 2 screws here. Nobody will even know. You never even notice it. So that's good. This is good lumber right here. For sure, the Lord blessed me when the ability to get deals and stuff, because when I bought this, the first trailer load I bought the whole trailer load for $75, and it had 6x6s in it, 4x4s, had these 2x8s in it, 16 foot long. It's a deal. So you could hardly buy. You couldn't even buy 2 6x6s for $75 right now. I mean, I don't think you may not even buy 2. Might be more like 1.5. I don't really know what they go for right now. Lumber prices so crazy. So anyway, and then the second trailer load I bought it for like, I don't know, it was like $50, something like that. All right. I'm gonna measure this lumber. I'm gonna go in and cut it at 6 foot lengths, and I'm gonna start putting this together, and I'll take y'all along after I get it cut. Okay, I got the frame cut. Let's look at it. All right, so that's not too shabby for coal lumber now. I cut the bad spot off. There it is. So look at that. That's pretty good for coal lumber. I'd say it looks as good. It really for sure looks as good as any lumber you can buy there sitting on the shelf, even though this was coiled out. I don't know if y'all have tried to buy any lumber lately, but man, it's hard to find a straight board anymore. You had to really look for it. So anyway, this is pretty good for what it is. Pretty good. Let's start putting this thing together, because hopefully I can get at least most of it done today. I'm fixing to drill some pilot holes. And when you're working with lumber that can split, or you're working with lumber that, hey, it's going to dry out and could split at another time, it's very important to put pilot holes in. You don't have to put them in everything. And I don't put them in everything, but I put them in a lot of stuff. And so I want this sandbox for this guy to last a long time. And I don't want this wood splitting out. When they go to put sand in it and put some pressure against it, we want it to last. So I'm putting pilot holes in it to make it stronger. Okay, I got the box frame built. It was a little out of square. Let me show you what I'm doing. So there it is right there, and it was just a little bit out of square. It wasn't too bad, but I want to have it as good as I can make it. So sometimes you got to put a little pressure on it, and you can, if you have 2 people, you can push against each other and kind of square these things up sometimes. But let's look at it right now. See see how that square is rocking a little bit? So I'm gonna have to get just a little bit more out of it. So what I did was I put this ratchet strap across there. I put something for it to bind on, and then I just pull on it with a ratchet strap till I get it square as I want it. And then after I do that, I'll put a brace on it and it's done. All right, so I pulled it square, and then I had some of these scrap 4x4s laying around, so they were just pieces that I cut off something else. So I cut them, and they're gonna get covered up, so it's not even matter. but that's gonna give it some bracing. So see, it's not gonna move. And so now I gotta start putting the top on it. And I'm probably gonna put, I'm not sure if I run another brace across over here on this side. I'm not sure it needs it at 6 feet, to be honest with you. Okay, so I'm gonna put some top on it, and I'm probably gonna do that tomorrow. Right now it's about 12:40 in the afternoon, and I've got to leave here about 2 o'clock-ish, because I have to go to Lowe's and get some paint shook, because this weekend we're gonna paint the kitchen, and because we just got new countertops. So I'm probably gonna start packing it up, and then that way I can go and have some lunch, take a shower, get ready for school, and then because I've got volleyball this afternoon, and we'll continue this tomorrow, and we're gonna be starting on that in the morning. I'll do that first thing because it's gonna get hot again, so I'll be working on that greenhouse first, and then I'll come over here and finish up this sandbox. And I already got the hinges for it. I stopped at the hardware store the other day. I got hinges, so it's gonna look super awesome when the lid is gonna fold up and then fold back into a bench like that. It's gonna go like this. So it's gonna be super cool. Then when I get it done, I can make arrangements with the guy, and I can deliver this sandbox, pick up my spreader, and it's all good to go. Okay, it's the next day. It's about 7:45 in the morning, and wow, it's already getting hot. I'm getting a little bit of a late start again. I'm trying. So I'm right in the middle of, I went to class last night, by the way, but we're right in the middle of 21 days of prayer at my church, and that is between the hours of 6 and 7 in the morning, and not that hinders, it's not. I need to pray for the day, for sure. Lots of problems we have, nationally, worldly, and I'm opening these gates, and family. If y'all would keep me in your prayers. Just lots of family turmoil going on here. I've got to get this okra picked, and so that being said, I think tomorrow morning I'm gonna listen to the prayer message and all like that while I'm out here doing that. It's got to happen. My plan is so I'm planning on skinning this greenhouse September the 2nd, which is not Memorial Day. What is it? Labor Day. I got family coming over, and I thought, I was like, hey, people are gonna be here. If we can just all get on it, it's not gonna take too long. I mean, literally probably 2 hours. It can happen if I got some more hands. So let's get to it. I've got to finish this sandbox build, and I know that that's not really in the plans of stuff I got going on, but I really needed that spreader for deer season, and my son's going to use it to spread seed for the doves. Dove season starts in, like, I don't know, about 10 days or so. So I got to get this thing done and get it over to the guy, because I promised him it would be 2 weeks, and it's already been probably 10 days because that's just all the stuff I had going on. All right, back to it. Let's get to it. Just an FYI, these are those San Marzano tomatoes, and they are ready to be staked and trimmed. So something got on them right there. So they're ready to be staked up when they're not leaning over. Look at that. This okra's coming on now. Look up in here. See, look at that. I think I let that one get a little bit too big. I'm gonna get out here and pick them. I got little okras up in there. Just an FYI, this okra's pretty tall. Look how tall this okra stand is. Now I'm 6'1", and I'm wearing boots, and it's taller than I am. See, here's my head level's about right here. By the way, you see how I got them planted in these pallets? It just kind of made a border for them. Look at that. Look how big the stalks are. So they're planted all up in these pallets. And it's like this. I learned that from Mayhem Country Living. So if you don't know who that is, go check his stuff out, because that's where I learned that, watching his mess. So I watch other people, and it gives me ideas for what I'm doing, because I for sure don't know everything, and I don't invent everything. So hey, some stuff I do, some stuff I don't. I just try to learn from other folks and tweak it to what I'm doing. See this okra? See how it's eat up some of it? This has been the worst year for okra being eat up by pests that I've had some years to where I've had some of my stuff get, pests on them pretty hard. But look at that leaf. That's awful. And they're not all that way, but a lot of it is. Look at that. I mean, these plants are thriving even though they got a lot of bug pressure. And I've dusted this okra probably 3 times. I got a fogger machine. You crank it and it fogs out 7 dust. And I think 3 times I've done that now, and I'm gonna dust them again. I think it does help, but it's for sure not stopping it. Wow, a lot of bug pressure. I think one of my subscribers commented about neem oil, and I do have neem oil. I've used neem oil before, but I think I'm gonna do that, and I might have to do that like at night, because I don't want to wet these leaves down. I've learned over the years that you don't want to wet these leaves down and then the sun come beat on them, because the beads of the wetness act like magnifying glasses and it'll just burn your leaves. So that's why you don't want to water in the middle of the day or anything like that. And that neem oil would stay on there. So I don't want to cook these leaves. So it's kind of a catch-22 on that. So I think either tonight or tomorrow night, I'll get out here and I'm gonna spray. I'm gonna get up under the leaves with neem oil. I got a pretty good sprayer for that. So anyway, we'll try it. Hey, if it works, great. If it don't, I'm having to move on to something else. So somebody at the church gave my wife this and said, hey, we're not gonna eat this, so feed it to the chickens. So that's what I'm doing. So here's the other San Marzanos. Now look what happened. Look, this is just over like 2 days, because this is inside the greenhouse. So I don't come in here every day, but I come in here about every other day. I want to make sure everything's watered. Look at that guy right there. Look how big he is. And look what he did. Look what he did. Look at that. See the bear? It's been a bad year for pests. I have fought them and fought them and fought them. And wow, okay. Hey, you just take everything in stride and you try to adjust what you're doing and move out. That's all you can do. But this guy, he's going to the chickens. Wow, it's like 8:30. I don't know what time it is. It's like 8:30 or so. That sun is already beat. I think it's gonna be over 100 today. Ready for fall. Look what I did. So I did get some more bell peppers. I knew they weren't petered out for the rest of the year. The bell peppers weren't. Everything else is though. And all right, so before I go inside, I'm gonna take these bell peppers, and I have picked a few okra. Before I take that inside, I'm gonna get the eggs. So they're just now starting to, they kind of took a little bit. I didn't go any days without any eggs, but I was there for a little time. I was only getting 2. So it looks like they picked it up. Look how small that is. That's a small egg. That's like a medium size to large egg, I guess. These are the Americanas, and I hate it when that happens. scrape that off. Look right there. See that poop in the nesting box? See, that's where they nest, but look right there. That chicken's sitting right there on that ledge. And I put that ledge up there so they could hop up here and then go in the nesting box. But look, one of them's been roosting right there. I hate it when they do that. It's hard to train them chickens not to do it. Once they get something in their head, their brain's only about pea size. Once they get something in their head, it's hard to retrain them. So that means if I don't want them to do it, I got to come out here every night and shoo them off this nest and make them get up there on that roost. So it just is what it is. All right, so back to the Sandbox. Got to get this thing finished today. Hopefully, if I can finish here in just a couple hours. I've got to take my youngin' to church this afternoon for, it's Wednesday. So, if I can do that when I drop her off, because my church only has Wednesday night service for adults once a week. Once a month, first Wednesday. But the other Wednesdays, they do stuff for like teenagers, kids, and stuff like that. So she'll be going to church tonight. And so if I get this done here, I can go and drop this Sandbox off, pick up the spreader, and hey, I can check that off the list. And one less thing. All right, so this is where we left it. So I've got to go. I put these screws in here like this so I could pull on them with the tie straps so I could square it up. See these decking boards right here? Right there, that's a decking board. So like when you go over to somebody's house and you sometimes they use like 2x6s or 2x8s, but that's real decking boards right there. See the rounded edges? It's got rounded edges. That's what it's for. So I'm gonna dig some of these out of this pile, and it's gonna take me a minute, and I'll get back to you. Okay, I pulled out some, and I still got more in the pile if I need some more. Probably will. Some of these are 12, some of these are 16s. See, like this one's a 16. Look, see, it's got this crack in it, but it's up here, so I can just cut this crack out, still use the rest of the board. So I'm not wasting. So even though it's got that crack in it, this board will still be fine, the rest of it. I just had to fix a boo-boo. So I don't know what I was thinking. So I had one side that was, nailed on one side and the other's like this. Well, I had them mix matched on one side. So I just had to fix it. Do you know what the difference in a good carpenter and a bad carpenter is? A good carpenter can fix his mistakes. And that's basically what it boiled down to. Because if you're out here building something, I don't care what it is. If you're building, you're going to overlook stuff and you're going to make mistakes, but you're going to have the ability to go back and fix it. So that's where I am. And I'm not saying I'm a good carpenter. I'm just an okay carpenter. So anyway, all right, back to it. Okay, so here I am. I put these braces on it right here. So when somebody sits on it, it's gonna have some stability. So I was gonna put a piece in between right here, but when I tack this down, when I tack the decking boards on top of it, it'll hold it in place. So that's what it looks like right now. Still working. So depending on how much you want to put space in between your boards, it's totally up to you. But I'm spacing this 1.5 inches, and I'm just using these pieces of 2x4 to put up against it. See, it's sitting in between there, and so that way I get the same spacing all the way across. And then when I get to the middle, I may have to adjust it. So I'm going to start on both ends. All right, so so this is all secured down. So this is what it looks like now. So I gotta fill in the gap and make it and come out so at least 2 boards so it will fold back into a bench. Okay, so I got it laid out. This is not nailed down, just the ends are nailed down. Let me show you. So these are spaced 1.5 inches. but the rest of it is 5/8. So I don't have any boards that's like cut. They're all full boards. Okay. So I got the first part of, see, that's what it's gonna, the first part of the bench part. So that's what it looks like on top. And then you fold it back like that. And then there's gonna be a bench. There's gonna be a backing to it like that. So now I gotta work on that. Oh, I hadn't done the other side yet, but I'm doing one side at a time. So I'm gonna put some hinges right here. So this, see, it's like this. It's not gonna look like this when I get through, but I had to temporary it. So I had to put a temporary screw on one on either side. And it's gonna be a hole, but I'm working by myself and I don't have anybody to hold it. So I had to put a screw in it to hold it while I'm working on it. So if I had somebody, then I wouldn't have to do that. But there's gonna be an extra hole there, and I'm just gonna put a screw in it to plug it, but it is what it is. So there's gonna be some hinges right here. So I'll measure that out and put some hinges on it. When I put those hinges on it, it'll fold down and be a bench, and I'll show it to you in a minute. Okay, I got one side done, and then I got one more side to do, and I'm done. I'm done with this project anyway, as soon as I get that. So it's gonna, so it looks like that. So that's how it folds up. And then all you gotta do is lift it up like this, and then it folds, and then there's a bench. And it's a little kid bench. And there's a brace under it, so an adult could sit on it, no problem. So there you have it. There's that part. Now I got to get this part done, and then when I get totally done, I'll film what it looks like all the way complete. Okay, done with the Sandbox. Now all I got to do is load it up on the trailer so I can take it to him tonight. Well, let me show it to you. That's what it looks like right there. So it is 6 foot by 6. Excuse me. It is 6 foot by 6 foot. That's what it's got. Got benches on the ends right here, and it folds down to like this. And that's what it looks like when it's closed. Pretty cool. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this video up, and I'm gonna do when I go and swap this out for the spreader, I'll be filming that. And Lord willing, tomorrow, early in the morning, that's what I'm doing. I just have to get all these things off my plate because I wasn't kind of I mean, I know I'm running out of time for wintertime, but I'm also running out of time because I'm gonna be down because of health problems for a little while. So I need to get all this stuff off my plate. And that Sandbox was one of the things I had to get off my plate because I promised that guy I was gonna build it, and it's done. All right, so I'm gonna go load it up on the trailer. I appreciate y'all tagging along with me today and yesterday. Half of this video was filmed yesterday. And I'll see y'all on the next video. God bless. Oh, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And send it to one of your friends.